Okay, so the Gemara says on Pehei Amud Aleph, we're talking about the halachas of being maka'av v'imai, which you're not supposed to do, right? The Gemara wants to say, well, maybe there's a scenario where you not only can you do it, you should. It's a mitzvah to do it. So 2 lines from the top. Bo minei Rav Sheshes. That's the shaila from Rav Sheshes. 2 lines from the top. Pehei Amud Aleph. Bo minei Rav Sheshes. That's the shaila from Rav Sheshes. Ben mahu sheyasa shliach la'av la'kosi l'kalei. Can a son become a shliach bezdin to give his father malchus, or to put him in nidui, which is a klala, right?
Your father.
Huh?
Not let your father.
Not let your father, but here it's a mitzvah. What? That's the shayla. That's the shayla. You know, you're dasher sheshes, and this is they want to, you know.
Even a doctor can't treat his father, right?
What?
Even a doctor shouldn't treat his father.
Well, at the end yesterday it says that even that the refuah. The one more wanted to say it's mutter, but then it says that Afal Pikan and Amaram did not let their sons do it, because if he does makes a mistake, he didn't even let them do the take a splinter out, because it goes too deep by mistake. It's going to be a shaygig of chiyuv of
obviously.
Yeah. But this is shayla. This shows the place can kind of very place can talk. Anyone who's a doctor or a dentist needs to know if his father or mother wants to be his patient. They need to know that. Okay. So the Gemara says that's the shayla of Sheshes. Is a son allowed to be a shliach bestin to put his father, give his father malchus, or to give him a klala, put him in nidoi? Amar lahu. He told them the achar miyatiru, a regular guy, right? Bezdin says to the shliach Bezdin, this big grubber guy, works out a lot. He says, "Go get Yankel, bring him here. We got to give him malchus, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because Yankel, right? So he schleps Yankel in and he gives him clap, gives him 39 clap, right? How's the guy allowed to do it? You're not allowed to hit another yid, right? How can you do it?
It's just Bezdin.
Allah covered Shemayim Adif. Covered Shemayim is Adif. The Rebbeinu Shalom said this guy deserves malchus, so the shliach Bezdin could give the guy malchus. Hachanami covered Shemayim Adif. Over here also say the same thing. And a son is allowed to give his father malchus because covered Shemayim is more important than kibbud av.
Let somebody else do
There's
it.
a better terrorist in saying that Moshe.
Better than
Give the shlichus. Dinner shlichus.
a shliach of that. Yeah, but still the son is doing it, right? When you're doing an avera.
No more customers have me you might or another person. No more person here, you could ask question mine. You could have said that the shlichus
That the son is doing it because is allowed to do it because he's shliach bezdin.
Right? It's one mutter, Thursday, yes.
Somebody else is being mutter. Why? Because even though you're not allowed to hit another yid, right? It'll be mutter because Bezdin said you should do it, and it's a mitzvah. So too, Bezdin said you should hit your father because he deserves malchus. Your father did an avera, and he should get to cover shemayim.
Someone can do it. Have to look right now.
If it's a mitzvah, you have to think like a litvak. If it's a mitzvah,
Right now.
yeah, Okay. And if your father's a litvak, he's going to say, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So, practically, Gemara Meisvei asks you, Kasha, the Bryce is a cryptic Bryce. So the Bryce says like this: just like the person where there's a mitzvah to hit him, there's a mitzvah not to hit him. There's someone who does not have a mitzvah to hit him. In a din isn't there a din? Shouldn't it certainly be the case that it's mitzvah not to hit him? This is very cryptic what this means. The Gemara wants to say, my love, what's this going on? The first part of the Bryce, we're going to go over this again in a second. The first part of the Bryce is talking about, and both parts of the Bryce are talking about, they were talking about there's a mitzvah, like for example, a shliach bezdin situation. But the difference is that in one case that you could do it, in one case that you can't do it, is because one is the son and one is the someone else. And if it's the son, you can't do it. Not like what Rav Shesha said. So Gemara wants to use this price as a kasha Rav Shesha. But what is it? This is the tura of the kasha. But what exactly is the Gemara being mefarish the price? The Gemara is mefarish like this: that you should say, just like a person who deserves malchus. So a regular person, not a father. It's a mitzvah to hit him. It's also a mitzvah not to hit him. You're not allowed to hit him more than 39. Lo Yosef Pen Yosef, the Gemara says a limud, that you're only allowed to hit because the Torah says give him malchus. But you can't say, you know what, I'm going to give you one for good luck and whack him a 40th. You're not allowed to do that. That's a lav, and that's the same lav that we learn out. You're not allowed to hit another yid just plain. So
might kill him.
Yeah, but even if you're not going to kill him, you're still not allowed to hit him, right? So, but you're right, it might kill him, but that's not why it's usher. It's usher because you're not allowed to hit another yid, right? So the second part of the brayso is so too somebody who does not have a mitzvah to hit. In other words, a son who doesn't have a mitzvah is not allowed to hit his father. Then it's for sure that he has a mitzvah not to hit his father, because a person who hits is not allowed to hit who you're allowed to hit, you're not allowed to hit too much. The situation where you're not allowed to hit because you're normally not allowed to hit your father, so for sure you can't hit at all.
Who, your father or
your father? Your father. So you see, not like Rav Sheshes. And the Gemara is saying that the difference between the two cases is whether it's a person's father or stam a person on the street. Gemara says, "Lo, you have no raya." No. Both cases, the first part of the brayso and the second part of the brayso, we're talking about whether it's the son or somebody else, it doesn't matter. So it could be talking about the father, both the top and the bottom of the brayso. One is talking about when there was a mitzvah to hit him, and one is talking about where there's not a mitzvah to hit him.
By the father or by a regular guy?
Both, by both. Okay, and the Gemara is going to say like this, and this is what the brayso is saying. Just like when it's a mitzvah, and you have a mitzvah to hit him 39, it's not a mitzvah to hit him the 40th. You can't go hit him another one, and therefore you cannot become a shliach for that. And it doesn't matter whether you're a son or a not son. But even if you're a person's son is hitting his father who deserves malchus, that's fine. You could do it b'makom mitzvah, like Rav Sheshes said. Shalei b'makom mitzvah, Shalei b'makom mitzvah, when it's not b'makom mitzvah, when you have no chiyuv, she'ein mitzvah la'kaiseh, where there's no chiyuv to hit him, and it didn't shemitzvah shalei la'kaiseh, for sure you're not allowed to hit him. So you learn from here that when any situation where it's mutter to hit, it's mutter to hit whether it's your father or not, and any situation where it's usher to hit, where there's no mitzvah to hit, you're not allowed to hit at all.
Definitely your father at all.
Or anyone else. It's the same thing. According to
why do you have against you?
According to Rav Sheshes,
father and it's a regular person.
Yeah, but according to Rav Sheshes, because you're doing this l'kavod shamayim, because you're a shliach of Bezdin, that would override it. But the brayso is saying it only overrides it when it overrides it. If there's no mitzvah, right, you can't hit your father, and you can't hit anyone else. In other words, your father and other people are the same. You're allowed to hit them if it's a mitzvah. You're not allowed to hit them if it's not a mitzvah.
No, but your father have a special thing now for your father.
But for kavod shamayim, Rav Sheshes is saying you do it. There's two ways to learn this brayso. You can learn the brayso the way that learned a second ago and say that a son is not. The brayso is saying a son is not allowed to hit it. Rav Sheshes and then Zakash and Rav Sheshes. Rav Sheshes says no. I could interpret the brayso like my shita and say that the brayso is being matter. If anything is saying that you could hit your father, or you should hit your father when it's a mitzvah to hit him, but you can't any other time. And whether it's your father or not, the same halacha would apply. So, l'maisa, you don't have a raya from this brayso either for or against Rav Sheshes. Tashmas, I'll bring another raya. Hayotzeli hareg. A guy is being taken out to get killed by Bezdin. So he went and he was, mizana with an eshesesh. Bezdin is taking him out to give him chenek. And he's on his way out. Uva b'noi, and his son came out, and v'kahu v'killoi.
Dead man walking.
Yes. But he hit and he killed and he cursed his father. You're not allowed to hit your father, and you're not allowed to curse your father. Chayiv, he's chayiv. But achar v'yikov v'killoi, a different guy, a random bystander, sees this guy being taken out to Misa, v'yikov v'killoi, and he hit him and he cursed him. Pater, he'll be pater.
Why?
We ask, Maishna b'noi, Maishna achar, what's the difference between the son and what's the difference between the other person? Rav Chisda says, cases like this. This guy, they're trying to schlep him out to give him chenek, and he doesn't want to go. Pretty natural, right? Pretty normal. He doesn't want to go. So they give him so Bezdin sends somebody to go and force him to go. In other words, the guy is a shliach Bezdin. If the son is is the shliach. If the son is the shliach bezdin,
Same idea.
and he hit him and he cursed him, then he's still going to be chayiv because he's not allowed to be a shliach bezdin. In other words, we're saying that's not like Rav Sheshes. And if it's somebody else who hit him and cursed him to get him to go, then that's okay because he's doing a shliach bezdin. So the Gemara is trying to bring a raya from this brisa, not like Rav Sheshes.
Why do you say he's killing a dead man?
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Hold on. For the person
You're
himself.
not a curse, you're not a hate about it.
Yeah, but right now
He's asking, the guy is on his way to get killed.
That's right.
Right? He had Gemara
You're not a
din.
shliach bezdin, a regular person.
Or no. The person that they're schlepping out somebody's father
Right.
to go to go.
Someone else goes and hits him, whatever it is.
Right.
He's not a shliach bezdin, this guy. He's just a guy hitting him. Are you chayiv?
Right.
That's what you're saying?
Right. He wants to say that you should be pater because the
dead
guy's
man
about
walking.
to get killed. Exactly.
Dead man.
Right. So Gemara's going to talk about
Before you
this.
just go and punch anybody you want.
Gemara's going to talk
If
about
he's
this.
dead man, you know.
Yeah. Hold the thought. We're going to get back to it. So the Gemara
Not
says.
the Bronx, you know.
So the Gemara says, that based on Rav Chizda, you see in Raya not like Rav Sheshes, and for the Gemara, Rav Sheshes is Michael Abishain Masarvin by Latzes. Rav Sheshes is talking about it's not a shliach bezdin. They're not trying to get him to go, and therefore the son had no right to and therefore they're not trying to get him to go out, so it's not a mitzvah. So the son who hits his father is going to be chayiv because he was not doing a mitzvah. That's what will be chayiv because the guy's not resisting. He's ready to walk out with the shtuch bezdin. So that's where the son will be chayiv. In fact, the Gemara, if that's the case, Yahachi achanami. If so, then the other person also should be pater. Why? Because the other person is also. I'm sorry. The other one also. The guy who is not a relative, and he went and he hit or cursed this guy for no reason. So he should be chayiv. Right. Why do you say the son is chayiv and the achar is not chayiv? The achar should also be chayiv. And for the Gemara, no. And this is your svara, Rabbi say. Achar gavra ktiluhu. By the achar, he's dealing with a guy who's dead. He's dealing with that dead man walking. And therefore, he'll be pater because he didn't hurt somebody who's a alive, living, breathing person. But the son still has to worry about it, and we're going to get into details of the drashas later on the days. The son still has it's still the son's father. So since it's still his father, the son will be chayiv. That's the difference between the two. In fact, the Gemara, I have a problem with that. V'amar Rav Sheshes himself said, "V'aisha yashan umeis chayiv." Somebody who went and he embarrassed somebody while the guy was sleeping.
There's no idea embarrassed him.
He has no idea. And the guy died in his sleep after it happened. Chayiv. He has to pay the Yershim, the Dmei Baishas, that he would have had to pay to the guy had he woken up. Why? Because the person who was embarrassed, it's not just him. His family members will also be affected by this. So you see that over here also, if you're going and cursing or hitting the guy, even though he's a dead man walking, this sleeping guy was also a dead man walking essentially, right? Because he's about to die.
You pay bushes. You pay for the guy you advise. You'll pay his whole family.
So the baishas that you caused the guy has ramifications to his kids. So you caused him baishas even though he was never here himself to experience
If he wasn't sleeping, it's only him, you're saying.
If he wasn't sleeping, because the embarrassment is to the guy.
Right.
That's what you're saying. The embarrassment is to the guy because of the effect it has on the kids. Even though he doesn't know about it, you still embarrassed him, right? So therefore, but now,
Bushes, you partially learn bushes. You watch a guy, you gotta pay him what's worth. You see, you don't have the whole family, the husband, his wife, you know. Now you say no. Bushes is a bigger
holistic,
picture.
yeah, it's a bigger picture, yeah. That's what you're seeing that over here. You're right. So the Gemara is going to say, I'll read Rashi's language. Rashi says, the mispaishin banav, his kids get embarrassed. So the Gemara's kasha is, so you see from this, what do you say? You said, hey, the guy's walking out, and somebody else who goes and hits him or curses him, no big deal because he's a dead man walking. It doesn't count. Well, this guy also never got any personal baisha because he was died immediately, and Rav Shesha said you're chayiv. So there's no worse. Certainly, the guy who's actually walking and talking, right? You're causing embarrassment to the whole family. You cause embarrassment to him because of the ramifications on the family, and therefore you should be chayiv also. How can you say that the achar will be chayiv? The actual guy is going to get busha because there's an effect. There's a ripple effect. There's a ripple effect on the family. You can't be meichel that's it's going to be persistent, even though he's on his way to be.
If he's sleeping, you're Maisha, he's sleeping.
So we're saying he does have busha. He has busha. He experienced busha as a live person because there's ramifications on his kids. He may not have known about it.
Obviously doesn't know about it.
He may not have known about it, right? He obviously doesn't know about it.
He has 22 kids. What's the limit of how much you can pay?
I don't know. That's we'll have to get back when we get back around to Bam Kama. But yeah, you have to make a cheshbon. So the point is, then if that's the case, then how come the achar is going to be pater? Even though it's a gavra ketila, it should be no different than baishai yashin umeis. If the Gemara. You know what? I'll tell you what's going on over here. In our case is talking about he hit him a hitting that doesn't have a shavapruta. When the son hit the father, he's going to be chayiv because the father, he has his own chiyuv on it. A person not allowed to hit his father, even though it does not totally in money. You're not allowed to make a hakon.
Little blood shavapruta. How do you work?
However, it'll come out that it's less than a shavapruta. You cause them 0.1 cent of damage, right, or of nezek or baishus or whatever it is, then in the case of this, the case will be like this. For the son, he's going to be chayiv because he hit his father. He did cause his father a chavura. For the achar, he'll be pater because it's less than a shavapruta. Frak the Gemara of Amar of Ami Amar of Yechna Nikoa Kashem Shavapruta Loika. Somebody who hits somebody else, a hakah that doesn't have a shavapruta, he's going to get malchus. So even though you don't have to pay, because you don't have to pay, you get malchus. So how can you say the guy's pater? The Gemara says, you're right. My pater, the kamar, pater mimamin. When it says in the brisa that the person is going to be pater, it doesn't mean he's pater completely because he's got to get malchus. Pater means he doesn't have to pay money because it was less than a shavapruta. So frak the Gemara, miklal the benai chayiv b'mamin. If you're saying when the brisa says pater, it's talking about by the achar, he's pater because he doesn't have to pay any money. Then when it says that the son is chayiv, then you're saying the son is chayiv in money, right?
And there's no amount of pruta.
Even though it's less than a pruta, right? How can you say that the son is going to be the son's going to be chayiv less than shav pruta? That doesn't make any sense. We don't have such a thing. Ella bedinai. What's going on? Must be when it says chayiv, it means that for the son, it must be he's chayiv in the din. No chayiv, the son's going to.
The other way around, right?
Right, but so over here also, when you say that the guy is the person who did hakah less than shavapruta is pater, must mean he's totally pater. There's no chiyuv at all for him, and he's not going to get malchus. So it can't be the case. It doesn't work anymore in the case to say that it's talking about hakah she'ein b'shavapruta. Ella achar hainu time of the pater. You know why the other will be pater? The son will be chayiv because he hit his father. The other person will be pater, even though we said all these svaros why you should have to pay. The makrav nasi be'amcha isar. The pasuk says, "A nasi in your nation you shouldn't curse." And we learn from this, when he's doing the actions of a yid, when he's acting like a ben Yisrael. That's when you have the Isra of cursing. But if someone doesn't act like a Ben Yisrael, he's not Isa Maisi Amcha, you're allowed to curse him. So now, this guy's on his way to get killed. He just did a rishus, and the rishus was big enough that he's going to get killed for it. He's not an Isa Maisi Amcha.
Maybe his Abayah took him over.
It was, remember, the person's going to get killed. It had a straw. He had a straw, and we said, then he did it on purpose, he wants to do it. So that's why when a person curses when it's a stam person cursing the other yid who's going to get killed, he'll be pater because it's not Isa Maisa Amcha. But the son doesn't have a p'tur of Isa Maisa Amcha. The son is still going to be chayiv on cursing his father. So therefore, the son is going to be chayiv. In fact, That's good. I understand. By klala, you have a pasuk that says that it's oisem ma'aseh amcha, so you can differentiate between a person, stam a person who is cursing somebody who is going out to be killed, versus the son who's cursing somebody who is going to get killed. But hakah minalan, how do you know hakah? The pasuk by hakah of hitting doesn't say anything about amcha, so you have a problem. Where do you go and connect the two and say that hakah also the son will be chayiv, but the other one will be pater? And the Brisa said that for the other one will be pater both by klala and by hakah. How could he be pater by hakah? You have no pasuk of amcha by hakah, and for the Gemara, what? He's talking about Benasi ba'amcha loisar. Don't curse. Benasi ba'amcha in your nation loisar. We learn that the issur of cursing is by someone who's amcha. But by hakah, it doesn't say anywhere that someone has to specifically be amcha to be chayiv on hakah. And for the Gemara, we go and put together the two psukim of Mamatzinu, just like we find that by klala it's only Ma'aseh Amcha. So too we say that by hakah it's also an Ma'aseh Amcha. So if that's the case, his son also should be pater, because it's not we're makshimin hakah l'klala, and say that by the father cursing the father, there's no ashara, there's no lav that says don't curse your father.
Really?
Yeah, there's no ashara, there's no lav. We learn at the lav, the einish we have, but we learn at the lav from the same pasuk that you learn out from everyone else, for every regular yid. And over there it says amcha, right? So you should say that the son also has a patur, that if his father's not oisem ma'aseh amcha, he's going out to be killed because he's a rasha, and he did this terrible avera b'mezid, so then the son should not have any lav to curse his father. But still, what was that? The pasuk in the Torah that says the einish. That's the einish. Where does it say don't do it? What's the ashara? What's the lav?
Einish, you can't do it.
Yeah, but that's not what we have with Pascal. We always say that there's an einish, you have to usually say, almost always say, you have to also have a lav besides that. Pasuk says don't do it, and then different pasuk says if you do it, you get the einish, right? So a lot of times the Gemara will say ashkan einish as haraminayin, right? So you need a proof. So where is the azhara for a person cursing his father and mother? Rashi tells us that azhara is the lav, is the one lav that goes on everyone. Don't curse a fellow Jew. But that lav doesn't say specifically the father and mother. That says anyone. So it'll include someone who curses father and mother. However, that lav also says only if it's ba'amcha. If he's not doing oisem ma'aseh amcha, it should be mutter. If that's the case, if a father is going and being not oisem ma'aseh amcha, the son should be mutter to curse him. There's no lav. Because he's not oisem. If a father is not doing oisem ma'aseh amcha, a father's a rasha, the son should not get chayiv.
Because you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, there's no lav on the father, on cursing the father, because it's not oisem ma'aseh amcha. So the Gemara is saying, you're trying to tell me that the person, the acher, is going to be pater on that. He's going to be pater on the klala because of oisem ma'aseh amcha. He'll be pater on the hakah because we're makish hakah to klala, and say just like klala you're pater when it's not oisem ma'aseh amcha, hakah you're pater when it's not oisem ma'aseh amcha. Basha'enkin, the son will be chayiv because the son still has the isser. Maybe hakah that's the case, but by klala the azhara only comes from a place that has a heter of oisem ma'aseh amcha, and since the father's not oisem ma'aseh amcha, the son should not be usher to curse his father. So how could? But the Brisa said that he's going to be chayiv on cursing and on hitting. How could that be? And for the Gemara, no, I'll tell you, and this is I think what you said before, Shmuel. You said all the way at the beginning. The person was being taken out to be killed. He was doing tshuva. So now
he was still convicted.
So he's going to get killed.
Right.
But he's not a oisem ma'aseh amcha anymore. The guy's sitting there crying, Rabbeinu Shalom, I wish I didn't do this.
Getting killed, right?
Yeah.
So he did tshuva before he got killed.
He's on his way to the base as
And you still kill him.
and you still kill him. He's chayiv. right?
So what's kapara saying? They're doing tshuva or getting
He's
killed?
sitting there crying to the Rebbeinu Shem Hashem, Nu Bagad, Nu Gazal, Nu Gvern, right? And he really means it, right? So you can't say he's not a Reis Samcha anymore. He's mamish mascharat, he's misbayish, he's Kabbalah al Asad, Rebbeinu Shem. It's not. He doesn't have much Asad left, correct? But he did tshuva.
But it's all, after the bar dinner, he's Pascha, and this guy is a Russian. They're killing him.
It's not Pascha, he's a Russia. Pascha is Chayiv Misa.
Why?
Why? He's Chayiv Misa because he didn't have Erev Mezid.
Exactly.
Okay, but now he went.
He's a bad guy. Now he's
We don't pass him he's a bad guy. We pass him that he's Chayiv Misa. What if you have somebody, I can't say this, a Rav Moshe Feinstein, a Reb Chaim Kanievsky, go back, a Pnei Yeshua, right, whose whole entire life was a tzaddik, and somehow he had this moment of weakness.
He probably left shoe first.
What?
He probably left shoe first.
It's worse. He did something that was Chayiv Misa. Bezdin's gonna have to kill him, right? But we have a Gemara in Brachas, all the way at the beginning of Shas. Gemara says that somebody who speaks after this shaila, how you read it, either mitasan after they die, after they're taken out on a mita on a stretcher to be buried, or matasan if someone who speaks about the mistakes of a Talmud Chacham. I'm sorry, that's the Chaim. He says neifel b'ganim, he falls in Gehenna, right? You don't. This Talmud Chacham did an avera. The answer is, and the Gemara asks this. The Gemara says, no, b'vadai asa tshuva. He for sure did tshuva. So he's not a Reis Samcha. He for sure did tshuva. You have a Talmud Chacham did an avera. It happens. I have a couple of svarim of Talmid Chacham. It's my own personal thing.
What?
Yeah.
Now the tshuva, at night he wrote an answer why he was going to do what he did.
Very cute. Okay, very cute. Yeah, I happen to have in my house, I have a few svarim written by Rabbanim who ended up going to jail for various reasons. I have a few svarim written by Rabbanim who ended up going to jail for various reasons.
Present times or years ago?
Present times, fairly recently. Yeah, a few of them. And that's just my own, I couldn't not get them. It's right? The Gemara says, they did tshuva.
There's no taxes here.
Right? No, some of them were serious stuff. Some of them were serious stuff. Let's just leave it at that. But I don't want to be Masaparach and Matas and Shatmid Chacham. But the Gemara says that you have Talmid Chacham make mistakes, but they did tshuva. This guy's father was a Talmid Chacham, and now he's doing tshuva, did an avera. Now he's doing tshuva. They're taking him out to get killed, and he's not. Now he can't say he's not a Reis Samcha anymore. So that's what the Gemara is saying. If
the more of their book says,
right. So the Gemara is saying that over here is Asa Tshuva. So then the father, the son who's hitting his father, is not let his father. He's not a Reis Samcha. Even though you don't have the heter of hold on, let's start over here. The Gemara says, "Hatena klala." I understand klala that you're going to be say there's a heter for Ladois Amcha because it says Amcha. But Hakah Manol, and how do you know by Hakah that you're going to be potter from Ismai Amcha? The Gemara says the Mekshinon Hakah l'Klala. Just like Hakah is going, just like Klala is only Ismai Amcha, Hakah is also only Ismai Amcha. Ihachi b'noi nami. So the Gemara says the son also should be pater if he goes and he curses or hits his father. Gemara says Kedamar Pinchas b'shas tshuva. He did tshuva. Not by Hakav. The son also should be pater when he cursed his father. By hitting his father, there is a separate lav for the son, so that would not apply. No, at least my samcha would apply. But for klala, the son should be pater, because if it's not my samcha.
Hitting his father has to have a straw, or just not make so happy?
Yeah, sure. So the Gemara says,
hurting your father, if you do something like you make it take out a splinter.
Your person's not going to get misa for that because it wasn't amazing and everything, but it's an isser. It's right. So the Gemara says. The son is going to be chayiv if he went and cursed his father because the father did tshuva, so now he's a Ismai Samcha. Hachanami b'shas tshuva. Here also by the son it's going to be Ashas tshuva. Track the Gemara yihachi acharnami. If the guy did tshuva, why is the other guy going to be pater? We said he's a dead man walking and all that, but it doesn't matter. The guy did tshuva. He's not
Still dead man walking.
Yeah, but we said that's not. It's still going to be chayiv baishas, like Rav Sheshes, like the guy who was sleeping and died straight, right? There's still going to be a chiyuv. We said in that case. We said the only reason why you're going to be patur over here is because it's not Isa Ma'aseh.
Oh yeah, if someone's going to Misa, right?
Yeah.
And he does tshuva. Someone hits him, he's still chayiv. He's not chayiv, but he's chayiv.
That's the Gemara's kasha right now. The Gemara's kasha right now.
Tshuva not. He's going to Misa. He's still.
The Gemara said like this. The Gemara said the reason why an achar went and hit this guy or cursed this guy on his way to his being killed is going to be pater is because the guy is not Isa Ma'aseh Amcha. So he said, why is the son chayiv? Oh, because the father did tshuva. If that's the case, right, Gemara, if the guy did tshuva, then the achar also should be chayiv. You have no business hitting a random guy who did tshuva. Yeah, he's going to get killed now, but he's still he's yeah.
He's not a random guy.
Huh?
He's not a random
but
guy.
He's not a nice Amcha, right? You're not allowed to go and hit him. You're not allowed to go and curse him. And for the Gemara, Amrav Mari be'amcha b'mukuyim sha'av amcha. We learn out from Nasi be'amcha leisar more than just Isa Ma'aseh Amcha. We learn that he has to be somebody who is going to last. Mukuyim, he's going to last in your nation. This guy's not lasting because he's on his way to get killed. So we're saying that there's a patur, even if he did tshuva, there's still a patur on cursing somebody. But then for the Gemara, Ihachi b'nai nami, the son also should be patur. And for the Gemara, midi the have la'achar misa. It's just like la'achar misa. What's going on? The Gemara later on, we're going to see it very soon. The Gemara is going to say that there's a difference between cursing after misa, of someone cursing his father after misa, and somebody hitting his father after misa. Somebody cursing,
hitting the body.
Hitting the body, yeah. Somebody who curses after Misa is going to be chayiv. First father after Misa is going to be chayiv. And the Gemara is going to bring then a pasuk to teach us this halacha. But somebody who hits his father after Misa is going to be pater. Why? Because when your person hits his father, the pasuk says that you learn now from the pasuk of nefesh that you have to have a chabura that's a nefesh. Right? And there has to be a little life. There's no life in a dead person. There's no blood that comes out. There's no life.
Embarrassing the family?
I hear maybe there'll be nezek, but we're not talking about the nezek over here. We're talking about the chiyuvim of somebody hitting his father, which is the person, right? Right. So what it says, it's not by definition hitting after misa. Cursing, there is a definition of cursing after misa. So over here, where it says that the guy is going to be. Normally we say a person hits his father, la'achar misa will be pater, and we're saying this guy is like a non-Mekuyim person, he's going to get killed, so there should be a reason why you could say that he's going to be pater, but since Lamaisa, for a son, there is blood there, right, there is a hakah, and by hakah it doesn't say a difference between amcha and non-amcha, the son will be chayiv on the father on Hakah when he's still alive, and it will also be chayiv on the klala because we learn out that a klala even after Misi is chayiv. So it doesn't matter the fact that he's going to die. Either way, for klala it will be chayiv, and by Hakah, the patur for Hakah after Misa doesn't apply before Misa, even though he did tshuva, and even though whether or not he's nice Ma'aseh and so on. So the Ma'aseh Gemara says we have no raya. We said this whole. Why did the Gemara have this whole rigmarole back and forth in this brisa? We brought this brisa to say a kashan Rav Sheshes, and then we had to go and be mefarish for Rav Sheshes to say to explain how it could stem with the whole brisa could stem with Rav Sheshes. According to Rav Sheshes. We said that it's a case where the guy is going and not going to go to pull the guy out to be a shliach bezdin, and then the Gemara says if he's not, but if he's a shliach bezdin, it would have been mutter. Rav Sheshes says, and the Gemara has to go and make this whole back and forth to explain to Rav Sheshes how the brisa can make sense. But l'maisa we still have no raya. We have kashas on Rav Sheshes. We have terutzim for those kashas. My havala. What was the bottom line? What's the bottom line halacha? Is a person allowed to be a shliach bezdin to give his father malchus? And for the Gemara, Rabbi Rav Huna said, we learned in Yeshiva Rabbi Yishmael, in all situations, a son is not allowed to be a shliach of bezdin to hit his father, put him into cher, and put him into nidui, which is a klala. Chutz mi mesis, except for a situation where the father is a mesis. He goes and tries to convince other people to do avodah zarah, because in that case, the Gemara says. Shari Amra Torah, the Torah says, "Lo sachma lo sachas love." You should have no rachmanas on him. And in that case, he's a chayto machta. That's a terrible avera. And we saw all the whole vitzilu ha'eda, everything that we always say, try to save him, does not apply if somebody tries to get someone else to do avodah. What?
It doesn't mean Asara either. By Mrs.
Right. You don't need hasra. Right. Zak the Mishnah, must listen. Hamake aviv imay ein chayiv ad sheyasa ben chabura. Somebody who hits his father or his mother is not going to be chayiv until he does, and we're saying he's chayiv chenek on the last Mishnah. He's not chayiv chenek until he makes a chabura in them, a wound in them. Zeh chaymer b'mekal mi b'maka. And this is
last of chabura that'll heal.
What was that?
Chabura that will heal or not heal.
Most chabura is healed, no?
A chabura means you let out blood. Right? You drew blood. That's a chabura. So the Gemara says, Zeh chaymer b'makal mi b'maka. This is a chumrah. The following is a chumrah that Makalal has over Makkah. And this is what we just said in the Gemara before. Somebody who hits his father or mother, curses his father or mother after they died, is going to be chayiv. But somebody who hits his father after Misa, hits the dead body, will be pater. On the Gillian, it brings down from the Sefer Hasidim that says that the reason why Makalal is worse is that when the father's dead and you hit his body, doesn't make any difference. If the father's dead and you give him a curse, that still affects his neshama.
You say give him a curse now for every curse the father out?
It means like we said, the Rebbeinu Hashem should curse him, you curse him with Shem Hashem. I think the Gemara is going to explain. I have a feeling the Gemara will explain it. I didn't see it yet. I have a feeling the Gemara will explain what the maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but there's got to be somewhere that explains what exactly Makal Lavim is. But Pashtas, it means that the guy curses him with the Shem Hashem. I think that's pretty, we hear people curse people all the time. If you go on the subway in Brooklyn or in Manhattan, you hear it all the time. So it's a surprise to us. But the Gemara is saying that's why the Sefer Hasidim is saying that's why Makalal, which has an effect even after Misa, will be chayiv, while Makkah will only be chayiv before the guy's alive, father's alive, but not after the father died. Zak the Gemara, Tan Rabban Rabban. Avav Yimei Kilel, pasuk says, Ki ish asher yikal lasav vesima. When a person curses his father or his mother, he should die. Avi mekilel, the pasuk is repeating his father and his mother. He cursed damavai. He's mechayiv. So it's an extra pasuk. So the Gemara, we learn from here la'achar misa that he's chayiv on klala on Makal Avima even after they died. Sheyachal, because you could think, like, why does the pasuk have to say this? Sheyachal, because you might think the following. Just like we said that a son is chayiv if he hits his father, and he's chayiv if he curses his father. And Makkah is only chayiv when the father is alive. So maybe also cursing is only when it's alive, and that's what the pasuk has to say. The Torah has to say an extra pasuk to tell you that you're going to be chayiv even after misa. And also Uma Makkah. Just like the case of Makkah hitting where the Torah says that you're going to be chayiv whether or not it's ba'amcha, even if the person is not Eisamai Samcha, you're still going to be chayiv if a person hits his father. And still the Torah was not mechayiv by haka after misa mekalel in case of someone cursing his father, where the Torah was more mekel and said the only time a person is chayiv on mekalel avima is the father and mother are Eisamai Samcha. But if they're shkatzim, they're not Eisamai Samcha, then you're going to be pater on mekalel. So you see, the Torah is more mekel by mekalel. So we should say for sure if someone's mekalel after the father died, he'll be pater, because mekalel itself is more kuladik. That's why the pasuk need to tell us of so that's why the pasuk had to go and say an extra pasuk to be specifically marba that you're going to be chayiv even after the parents die. The person will be chayiv on mekalel avima. In fact, the Gemara, this is only good if that pasuk is actually available for a drasha. Bachad's in the word kila. This is going to contradict Yonasan in the Brisa we're about to see, who says that the pasuk Avav V'imay Kilel is extra, so you can learn from here that it's going to be mechayiv even achar misa. El Rabbi Yashia Mayikol Memer. What are you going to do with Rabbi Yashia? Rabbi Yashia can't use this pasuk. What's going on? What's this machlokes Rabbi Yomi and Rabbi Yashia? The Tanya we learned in the Brisa. Ish. Pasuk says ish asher yikal asav v'simay. A person who goes to Mekal, but it says ish twice. Matam lemer ish. Why does that say ish twice? It should say ish asher yikal asav v'simay. A man. Why does it say ish any man? And the Gemara the Rabbis bas tumtum vandrogenes. It's coming to marba a person's daughter. It's not just a person's son who cursed his father or mother is going to be chayiv. Even if a person's daughter curses her father or mother will be chayiv. And tumtum vandrogenes, who you think that maybe are not in the category of a ben, the pasuk is marba them that they're also going to be chayiv. Right? And that the pasuk says they're going to be chayiv. And then what? Yeah. We're holding in the sugya. So the Gemara continues. It says in the pasuk, a person who goes ish that will curse his father and his mother. It sounds like you're saying that the person cursed his father and his mother. Right? Somebody who cursed his father and his mother. Aviv shloi imay, imay shloi aviv minayin. How do you know if someone cursed his father but not his mother, or cursed his mother and not his father, that they're going to be chayiv? Because maybe you need to curse them both to be chayiv. The pasuk tells you aviv imay kilo, aviv kilo, imay kilo. Pasuk says it again at the end. So the first says isha sharikalal es aviv es imay. So there it puts kilo next to aviv. Then the pasuk continues aviv imay kilo. And it says kilo next to imay, so that teaches us it's individual. Whether it's one, whether it's the other, the person's going to be chayiv. Rabbi Yashia, that's how Rabbi Yashia learns. And this is Gemara's kasha, because you see Rabbi Yashia learns that uses this pasuk of Avav imay kilo to say these drashas. So how's he going to learn our halacha that you be chayiv on kilas of imay after misa? What's the other sheet? Rabbi Yomi. Rabbi Yomi, I know. No, you don't need this pasuk because it's mashma shtein ke'echad, mashma echad be'echad b'fnei atzmai. Whenever the Torah says a list, it's mashma both together or each one by itself, unless the Torah says together. The Torah says by somebody like sachrish b'shar v'chamar yachtav. Don't plow with an ox and a donkey together. Now, if it didn't say yachtav, I would have said don't plow with a donkey and or don't plow with an ox. Can't plow with an ox at all, even by itself. No, forget kalayim. That's why the Torah has to say they can't do leisachus b'shem v'chamar yachtav. You're not allowed to plow with them together. Individually, you could plow with either a shar or a chamar. So, from the fact that the Torah says over here yachtav teaches us that when it doesn't say yachtav, that means the Torah is saying it's one or the other, and not both, requiring both together. So, therefore, over here when it says aviv v'imay, we know it's talking about the father or the mother. Doesn't mean the father and the mother. So then, but the problem is, minale.
More separate. It makes it more separate.
So how will Rav Yashia learn the pasuk? Learn the halacha to tell you that it's to be marbe achar misa. And for the Gemara, you have a different pasuk in Sefer Shemais. That pasuk says it didn't have to say that, it was extra, and that's coming to tell you that it's going to be chayiv even after they died. V'idach, what does the other man Demer say? What does he do with that pasuk in Shemais? He needs that to tell you that it's coming to be marba, a daughter, a tum tum antroides. Why doesn't he learn that from ishish, which is an extra word to say every kind of ish, every kind of person? Where it says he doesn't learn it from there because they were Torah clash from Adam. The Torah speaks like normal. There's a machlekes all over Shas. Does the Torah speak normal? And when it says something like ish, any person, that's just regular, normal way of speaking, or it means something extra that you should darshan from it. So this machlekes comes up over here also. In fact, the Gemara, in the Mishnah, you said this is a chumrah that Mekalel has over Makkah. That Mekalel is going to be chayiv after Misa, and Makkah is not chayiv after Misa. Practically Gemara, let's say the chumrah the other way around, that makkah is over makalo. Listening chumrah b'makkah b'kalos. Let's say the thing in the Mishnah that makkah is more chumrah than cursing. What is that? By makkah, there's no difference whether the person is aisamai samcha or not. You're always going to be chayiv for hitting the person's father. But by makalo, there's a p'tur if somebody does is not aisamai samcha. And the Gemara, this man Demer holds that you do connect a hakah to klala, and therefore someone who's makkah will also be pater if it's not aisamai samcha. Right? You don't have the lav if the guy is not aisamai samcha. Zak the Gemara, lema hani tanoi kani tanoi. I'm not sure we're going to make it the Mishnah, but let's see if we can squeeze it in. Lema hani tanoi kani tanoi. Let's say these tanam that we discussed earlier that argue about whether there's a makkah has a p'tur of aisamai samcha, that by hitting there's a p'tur of aisamai samcha. Let's say they're going like the following brayso. Tanicha that we learned in one brayso. Kusi at the mitzvah lakasai, at the mitzvah kulasai. Okay, I think we're going to have to let's stop here. Let's see where we start on Sunday, Bezras Hashem.